Hey everybody, thanks for tuning in to Border City Rock Talk. You get great news, great interviews, great interviewees with sometimes a comedic touch. Make sure you smash the subscribe button, hit the like button, and comment below. Today I have a New Year's Eve guest wishing you a happy New Year's, Mr. Brian Vollmer of the legendary Canadian and international rock band Helix. How you doing, Brian?
I had our friends and neighborship, C4 Legionnaires, and Helix fans everywhere. This is your Captain Brian Vollmer coming to you from Fort Myers, Florida
Yeah, you're a
today.
transplant. You live there 6 months a year now, I understand, right?
And
Roughly?
my wife and I have a house here. I love it here. I
Right
got lots
on.
to hang out with Stud Howland, who as recently as a year ago played for Metal Church, but he's played for everybody from Blackfoot to Wasp to Lita Ford
And Freak Show.
and Freak Show. Yeah.
Yeah, I just chatted with Stet, with Carlos and Rob the other day. Well, not the other day, a while ago. Anyways, we were talking about the freak show thing happening. But anyways, you hang out with Stet at his bar? He's got a bar. Is it in Fort Lauderdale?
Yeah, he's got a place called Stats on Winkler downtown, and I go down there usually on Thursday nights and blast in karaoke, just sitting around shooting the crap, and it's a good time.
Yeah, I didn't mean Rob. I meant Ronnie. Anyway, from Freak Show. So, I'm gonna ask you a question. A lot of people, I mean, you're gonna get a lot of looks because of that, of your chapeau. Explain what it is. Like, what are those two goggle things?
What it is, I don't know. I don't go into a shop and buy a hat and analyze it. I just go, I like this hat or I don't like this hat. But I've always liked hats
Yeah.
because my grandfather used to take me fishing when I was a kid. He used to always buy me a hat. My favorite hat was kind of like this, only it had grass around it and a little golf ball and a driver on the top. And I ended up losing. I got in a fight with a kid at school named Michael Rummick. And we got in a fight right at the second base. And anyway, I won, but it was more out of self-preservation than it was out of I
Skill.
don't know, strength or anything else. It's just I had that adrenaline because I didn't want to get my face smashed in. And I remember going running back to home plate after I was done, and he was so mad. He had my hat and he ripped it up. But that was my favorite hat, and I've always wanted to wear a hat. And for a while there, I had all cowboy hats I used to buy down here, and I still got about 10 of them I saved in the basement.
Well,
I saved everything like a pat rack.
the reason I asked you is because I thought, honestly, I thought you designed it, to be quite honest with you, because you have a unique personality. You're out there, and I thought that you designed it.
No, I found it in a shop down in Fort Myers at a punk steampunk shop that was dedicated to mostly art.
Yeah.
The hats were just something that was kind of an aside at the counter. And I was doing my solo album, Get Your Hands Dirty.
Yeah.
And I knew I wanted a picture of myself on the front cover. So I wanted something to attract the eye, let's say. And so
Yeah.
when I saw the hat, I went, people will notice that hat. I used to have two little like monocles right here, but kept getting caught
I think
on
that's
things.
why I thought that you designed it because it was very, very bold. This one looks like it's toned down. You remember the movie This is Spinal Tap?
Sure
Did
do.
did Nigel sell you that hat? Remember Nigel said that if he was to do something else, he would like to work in a chapeau shop. Hi, sir. Would you like a vest to go with that chapeau? Remember that scene?
Well, that whole movie is just a summation of the whole rock and roll business, if you want to know the truth. Some people think it's a parody, but it's really the truth. That's exactly everything in that movie's happened to me, and probably happened to every other band on the road. I'm writing a book right now called "The Golden Age of the Canadian Bar Circuit," and there's a lot of funny stories in there, and just weird little things that didn't happen to just us.
Is there do you have a publisher yet for it? Where can they go to get it, and when do you think it'll be released?
I'm working on it while I'm down here. I actually started a couple years ago.
Okay.
A couple of guys, I took a film crew, and we actually flew right out to British Columbia, and this is in the middle of COVID. And I interviewed people along the coast. I went to Al Harlow's place from Prism, and we interviewed George Belanger from Harlequin and in Winnipeg, and just people from basically Manitoba out. But I know a lot of other people in the business that were on the road at that time, and they've told me stories. So now I'm kind of, for the last 2 years, I've been busy, but I've been formulating on the back burner of my mind, let's say, how I wanted to approach the book, and I'm kind of getting it in my head now.
It must be quite the challenge. Like I do a lot of video now, but I used to do a lot of writing and stuff like that. And there's a lot of artists getting into, well, not getting into, but your good friend Sean Kelly is working on another book right now. Um, Rick Emmett's released a book and a poem thing. So, how hard is it to write these days? Do you kind of just voice it and then it transcribes and you get a ghostwriter to clean it up, or are you doing it yourself on the laptop?
No, I do it myself, and basically I just tell a story like I would tell it to you if I was sitting around, you know, puffing on a doob and just shooting shit. And so that's how I do the book. And then when I get it all down, and then I go over it and I tighten everything up. I maybe change some things, inject other things. But the difference
Mm.
between me and a lot of people that write books is I lived it.
You lived it. Yeah, you're not telling stories you heard of
I mean, I'm not telling
secondhand.
a story. I'm not interviewing people because I don't know what went on. I was there. I lived it from week to week. I stayed in those hotel rooms. I played those bars. I had things thrown at me on those stages, and I traveled those miles, long, long miles, on the Sundays between gigs. So I can tell you firsthand what that story is.
I got a question for you, and I was talking to somebody today, and I said I'm going to ask him this because I don't know. Was there you're obviously your anthem, Rock You. Was it ever a thought that there was going to be the word that ends in CK was written as the song and it changed to Rock You for radio? Am I way off base?
You're way off base.
So there was never a thought of, F
Believe it
you.
or not, it didn't even occur to me till someone told me years later that they thought it meant F you. I went, what, really? And they're like, yeah, that's what everybody thought. I went, really? I had no idea.
So I'm not way off base,
I
are
live a
you?
sheltered life.
I gotta ask you a song. My favorite album was Long Way to Heaven. I love Deep Cuts, The Knife. I mean, all those things. But I gotta ask you, here's a question about the American scene. I remember when you sold, I don't know how many millions of songs or albums, and it was the late 80s. I'd read that you were working in a convenience store was it Kitchener?
No, it was in London, Ontario.
It was in London. And that was after Rocky was released.
I had gold and platinum albums on my wall.
And so that's how hard it is to make it in the Canadian industry because kids are all shaken. You put in the USA, when you were writing it, was it something that maybe management or you thought, okay, this is going to go over better internationally if I put in the Empire instead of the kids are all shaken in Canada, eh?
The Empire? What
Well,
does that mean?
well, the US is apparently the Empire.
Is
Some
it?
say crumbling, but you know what I'm saying? To make it big, you have to make it in the States, generally speaking. I'm not saying always, but anyways,
110%, that's 110% true. But I love the United States, and I'm not afraid to say that. I love it down here 6 months of the year.
oh yeah,
I heard all through the United States, Americans love Canadians. I
yeah.
don't understand the, shall we say, negative feelings Canadians have for Americans at times.
Mm,
Uh, if you're going to say them to their face too. I've
yeah.
been in certain situations down here where there's lots of Canadians around, and to Americans' faces, they're all nicey nice. And then as soon as the Americans leave them, they say stuff behind their backs. As a Canadian, I think that's low.
Yeah.
That's my personal opinion.
Well, no, and that's a good thing because as Canadians, we're known as the peacemakers and the nice and the honest. So, like you said, if you have a beef with so and so, at least be honest enough to say it to their face. I have a lot of American viewers. I love the American people. Sometimes I don't like what things go on in America, but same thing in Canada. I mean, the government that we have right now, I'm not happy with it, but hey, that's at least, that's just my honest feelings. But yeah, I see what you're saying. Don't backstab, say it to their face. Stand up.
Americans are our greatest friends, and America stands for freedom, free markets. I'm not really a big socialist guy, gotta be honest with you. I believe in the
Mm.
free markets, and I think it's the only moral system out there, personally. But now, now we're venturing into politics, but I just enjoy the United States. I think one of the biggest things for me is weather. You wake up down here in the middle of winter and it's like warm, green, the birds are chirping.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I go for a walk on the Caloosahatchee Nature Trail with palm trees and tall white spruce, and I feel just great. It's my little, what should we say, nirvana. Take my dog out.
So with like I understand a lot of snowbirds from the Sioux will go down to the States and they'll go in the water in March, but they'll say that the locals would be like, "Are you nuts? It's freezing. It's only 80."
That's how you pick the Canadians out at the beach
Yeah, because they're in the water.
because they're in the water.
And they're white as your
There's
teeth.
a swimming pool here, and that's serious. I'm not joking.
Well, I can believe it for sure, because if you're used to a certain temperature, when it gets the seasons after 12 months and it cools down, I mean, it's not your forte. So, who's in the band now? Just let everybody know. I know Chris has been in the band, and trying to think, Daryl, but you have a new drummer as of this year.
Yeah, so we'll get Constance, Constant, I think it is. No, sorry, Constant. I'm saying that
You
incorrectly. Um,
just met
because
him?
I always think it was Constance, right? And then when he finally joined the band, I had to actually write his name out for the first flight I booked for him. I realized I was saying it wrong. It was Constant. Anyway,
Well,
James years ago was going to a hockey practice just when he was very young, and he decided to skip out in hockey practice and go see this band called Helix at his local high school. And he was so blown away by the drummer who was from the same place as him, Cambridge, Ontario, that he decided to change course in life and become a drummer. And now he's our drummer, and he was Fritz's friend for many years.
yeah.
And Fritz approved Jamie 110%. Solid guy, solid drummer, just a pounder, just like Fritz was. So
Mhm.
great replacement. As for other people in the band, Daryl and I have been together since 1983, I think.
Yeah.
Um, and Chich has been with us on and off since the 90s. He comes from a band called United Snakes from Windsor, Ontario. And
Yeah.
then there's Chris Julke,
Yeah.
and he's from Cambridge, Ontario. And Chris has been with us over a decade. And Chris is just a great guy, very energetic and stage, moves around like a demon. And so all solid members of the band. All my guys are great. I insist on it.
Yeah. And so what we were talking about the other day, you're not like, well, it's obvious to anybody that knows your history. You're not doing this for the money. You're still touring right now and you're looking to book more tours. And you told me something that was very nice and humbling that you want to do it for your bandmates because you don't necessarily need the money, but these guys have been working hard for you for decades and you want to keep it going as much as you can. Plus you enjoy playing, obviously.
But I still love doing it, and there's no reason to quit if you're still out there having a good time and making money on top of it. But as leader of the band, you're always cognizant of the fact that you're kind of like the mother hen. You have to take care of everybody in the band and make sure that they travel well, they're all taken care of, and that money wise, especially, they're taken care of because that's how these guys make their living, and
Mhm.
they have bills to pay, and so I think of all those things, not just myself, hopefully, when I'm figuring things out.
Yep. So you still have your uh, Planet Helix in London, Ontario. Obviously, you have somebody watching it. I remember seeing that house. It was amazing. It was MTV Cribs or Much Music or something like that. And do you decorate your place in Florida the same way?
Well, Linda really decorates this place, but I hate to break it to you, but we sold the house.
Oh, okay. That's too bad. Well, whoever's living in it, I mean, I don't know let me ask you, when you put that house up for sale, the realtor must have told you you got to take all this stuff down, right?
No, we left a lot of it the way it was,
Oh, for the showing?
and the guys that bought, and we moved right across the fire lane into one of my rental units. It's a smaller
Oh,
house we downsized. So every
ah,
morning when I'm at home, I look out my back door. There's the old Planet Helix right there.
you know
But
what?
I don't live there anymore. I don't have to mow the grass or cut the hedge or paint the wood. And
Yeah.
the two gentlemen that bought it take excellent care of it. They've repainted everything, restained all the wood, and done a lot of work on it. I bet you they've, spent a lot of money.
Yeah, you know what? I can't believe I miffed that up because I did watch a recent interview with you where I read something either on Blabbermouth that you did sell it and that you can look over out your window and see your old house. So yeah, I don't know why I asked that question. It's New Year's Eve, so maybe that's why. So you have big plans for tonight? Big party at
Uh,
the Vollmer house?
you
Everybody? What's that?
no, we're going to the clubhouse here at Bayshore Village, which is a retirement village, and probably just sit around with friends.
Everybody, big
It's
party at the
exciting.
Vollmer's unit.
Exciting, eh? Well,
Well,
we used to have big parties, but we find that nowadays, when we get together with people, we enjoy smaller gatherings because we get to talk to everybody.
yeah.
Um, some of my friends I made down here over to the house the other night, we had a little barbecue and stuff. I'll probably have Stead over and Johnny Hyde, his guitar player, after Christmas. We wrote a song that's going to be on a best of album coming out, and probably the new Helix album if it ever gets done next year. So it's called "Stand Up," the song, and they're both writers on the song with me and Gord Pryor. Gord Pryor. So
So most of the albums written, Brian?
no,
Oh, I thought
we
you
have
you were.
songs all over. It's funny because even through COVID, we were writing songs. We wrote "Not My Circus," "Not My Clowns," "The Devil's Having a Party Tonight," Gene Simmons Says. They haven't really been on albums. I guess a couple of them have been on some Universal albums, but other than that, not really on a new Helix album. And then there was Eat, Sleep, Rock, that song.
Mhm.
So there are songs we could put together something, but I'd rather write new material.
Right, right.
We have a whole pack of songs that are like three-quarters done.
Yeah, you have a lot of those on digital or on tape. Remember tape back in the day? Tape cassettes?
Yeah, cassettes, yeah. Why are they coming back?
Well, you never know. Vinyl did, but yeah, I wouldn't bank on the old TDK.
Vinyl came back for a different reason. Vinyl came back because people like to look at the artwork and fondle it in their hands.
Yeah,
You can't, you can't do that with cassette. It's still the same problem you have with CDs, and that is you're looking at ant language.
yeah. Well, that's the thing. I remember
Not
looking.
only that, as an artist, it used to piss me off. You'd work in a long time to get artwork, spend a lot of money on it, and then they shrink it down to this friggin' big
Yeah.
where nobody looks at it. Like,
Well, I remember looking at the inside of, say, an Iron Maiden album sleeve, and you could see all the nuances with forget his name that was is their primary artist. But you see all the little things in there, almost like the Hotel California album sleeve, where you see Anton LaVey in there and all these people. But yeah, you're right. But I thought vinyl came back because of the sound, though. A really crisp needle and a good speaker system is it can be on par. You hear the crackling and
well, that's just it. It sounds more natural. Today's music sounds so unnatural and sterilized because they
well,
fix everything with auto-tune and everything else. But back in the day, a lot of these recordings, Robert Plant was singing sharp. So was Mick Jagger. because they push their voices. Like plucking a guitar string too hard, it goes sharp. That's a natural thing, though. There's
Yeah.
very few singers that can sing a whole song in tune and in pitch and in time and everything else. It's almost impossible. Like even the best singers kind of screw up in one place or another in the song.
Mhm.
So yeah, I could see where vinyl sounds more natural. But back in the day, the stylists, like the reason they used to get it mastered by like people like George Sterling, which we did in New York City at Sterling Sound, was that uh, as the needle got closer to the center, it would turn. And so that meant that there was less surface of the needle on the groove. And so the person mastering it, in the case of us, George Marino, he had to compensate for that loss. I think it was high end that they lost. So he had to, as the thing was being cut to the master plate, he had to add the highs or lows and get it right as it was gradually going on through the record. Isn't that amazing?
Well, yeah, it's just almost like well, not almost like, but I can relate. A lot of the viewers will relate. Like when you're listening to a solo like from Randy Rhoads and Tonight, how it all tapers off, and you want to hear those notes, so you crank up the volume. So it's kind of the same where you're losing kind of the technology with the needle coming off of the vinyl, as you say, and that's where the engineer comes in.
Well, the echo, for instance, at the end of what is it? Whole whole lot of love, is it? Way down inside, right? We hear that echo.
Yeah.
That's it. That's groove echo. In other
Oh, is
words,
that right?
when they cut the master, it leaked over into the next groove, right? That was
Wow.
accidental. They didn't purposely put that in there. It accidentally ended up there. That echo.
Right. Yeah. Amazing. So, do you have any shows lined up that you want to promote, or are you still waiting on booking to confirmations?
I got February 28th. We're at River Creek Casino with Sweet, and that's in Edmonton, Alberta. And once again, that's River Creek Casino, February 28th, February 28th, last day of February. And then in July, I wish I had the date here. In
What?
July, we're in Tabor, Alberta with Tom Cochran, Prism, and
Northern Pikes. Or is that 26th?
Northern.
Cornstalk.
That's right.
Yeah, I
And then
got Corn.
I'm going to book two shows in late June. They're going to be in Kitchener and London. Those are going to be my own shows,
Mhm.
which I'm looking forward to because I have total control.
Yeah.
means means I can use the screen behind me, which is going to, the next kind of level we've gone to is the audio visual part of it when we're playing casinos.
Yeah.
Uh, we not only do we have the logo up there, but we got videos running behind us as we play. There's an intro video that kind of does 50 years of our career in 5 minutes, which looks pretty awesome. When you take 50 years and you cram it into 5 minutes, it looks like you did the most fantastic things in the world.
Could cause somebody to have a seizure with all those blips.
The little film educates the audience before they see us. I think I'm going to have trivia in there too. Same
Oh, wow.
purpose.
Yeah.
I got the
So,
idea actually from Cam, who does the full petty fever or whatever it is, full moon fever.
mhm.
It's like a cover petty band, but he got in the bars, and that was an idea he did, which I thought was excellent. So
So, what was the last rock show you saw recently?
I
In
saw Brett Michaels a couple weeks ago.
Okay, where was he? Oh, he was in Fort Lauderdale or nearby?
No, he was just outside of Fort Myers, and he also had Dee Snyder's. He was a friend of mine in the show. And Night Ranger opened, and we did several tours with Night Ranger back in the day.
Yeah. So, what do you do on an off day, which is pretty much between gigs is going to be a normal day? You into golfing? You backgammon player, chess, um, you know, soccer, baseball, dodgeball? What do you do, Brian?
No, usually I get up in the morning, I hit I exercise until about noon. I either walk or I do my breathing exercises for my intercostal muscles for singing.
Okay.
And then in the afternoon, I get on my computer and I start either working on my book or, in the case of this gig coming up, I spent a day booking the flights.
Mm.
It's something you got to be in control of everything that's going on. When you sit down, you're dealing with thousands of dollars worth of flights. So all you got to do is screw somebody's name up with the spelling or something, or you know what I
Yeah.
mean, or the date that they're born, and you're screwed for $1,000 or something. So you got to be careful when you do that. And then there's other days where I'm just doing, putting together a video, a short 5-10 minute video, or in the case of a couple of weeks ago, a 17-minute video on breaking loose to help Ken Bow from Indie Tunes with the release of that digitally from the Indie Tunes website. And every day is different. Another day I was helping Vic Branco from Iguana Studios in Toronto try to track down some of our recordings for a project.
So you're a busy, busy guy.
I'm busy every day. If I do get time off, I think yesterday was really nice, hot, maybe today even. I get out of the pool for an hour and just lay in the sun or jump in the water. It's a nice big pool here. And I haven't done it yet, but I'm going fishing. I got my license as soon as I got here, and I've been fishing once from a dock. But I want to get out in the Gulf and also do some freshwater fishing.
What kind of fishing you going for? Trophy fish?
No, I want to get stuff I can eat. I want to get a shark, maybe a grouper.
Right on. Right on. Well, I won't be keeping you much longer, Mr. Vollmer. I was very happy that you took the time to wish us all a happy new year. I'm going to put links, everybody, below to Planet Helix, the web. Oh, I was going to ask you,
Are you in
Helix,
Chinatown in Toronto, by the way? Are
pardon me?
you in Chinatown in Toronto?
No, why do I sound like it?
No, it looks like your background, that's where it is.
Oh, no, I just have different backgrounds to make it look like it's a professionally run show.
Just wondering.
No, I don't even know where I got that one from. So yeah, I'll put links to everything Planet Hollywood. They can check out when you're playing next, and maybe in their neck of the woods, check out and get some merch. Speaking of merch, you've got a T-shirt there.
Yeah, yeah. I'll show you this. Exactly this guy's wearing. Just body threads. Can you see that?
Yep, looks good.
And I've already christened this shirt. I got a coffee stain on it. You'll all be happy to hear that. So it's officially a Brian Vollmer shirt. Nobody
Uh,
else will
how do you drink your coffee?
on the front of my shirt.
Not bad, not bad. I mean, that's not bad, Brian. That
I
is a
drink the
good one.
coffee. I get it from Racetrack. Right? See that? Racetrack. It says crazy good coffee. And should have crazy shitty cups. Cups are the worst. Coffee's really good. The cups suck. It's
Hey,
like
well, why don't you pull a Seinfeld?
look at a hollow there on the friggin' bottom. See that?
Why don't you pull a Seinfeld, a Kramer, and sue?
That doesn't have any coffee in it. You get
Yeah.
ripped.
Well, Seinfeld, you remember the Kramer episode where he sued because the coffee was too hot?
No, I think I did see that. I can't remember it. I met the real creamer,
Creamer or Kramer?
Kramer.
Creamer, that was a good one because that's a coffee joke. Oh, so you met Michael Richards.
Yeah, he was out of Mendoza one year.
Wow.
I don't know if he was an MC or what he was.
Huh. Was he goofy or was he like a normal guy?
He was fine. He could take a picture with me.
Oh, right
I
on.
think maybe thought I was trying to put the bite on his girlfriend. I wasn't.
You sure?
I'm married.
I'm just bugging. I'd like to thank Linda too for making sure that you got the email or the message. Got a couple cliche questions for you. Favorite Canadian band or artist besides your own?
Favorite Canadian band besides my own. Jeez. Got to think about that. Got a lot of friends in the biz.
You don't want to piss anybody off. How about
No,
favorite American band?
well, I got favorite American bands and not necessarily friends of mine, but
Oh,
in Canada, I don't know, favorite Canadian band. Um, I always liked Harlequin, but I like Prism too. Um, Rush. I know most of the guys, so except in Rush, I only know Alex Lifeson.
right, right. And the last cliche question is, what's the opposite of unsubscribe?
What's the what?
What's the opposite of unsubscribe?
Subscribe, I guess. Is that going to lead into some here?
Yeah, that's it. Everybody subscribe to the channel, as legendary singer from Helix, Brian Vollmer, says from his nice chateau in Florida. He's still Canadian by heart, but he's there right now. And Happy New
See how
Year to
smooth of a transition that was?
it was smooth, Brian, smooth.
Smooth.
Happy New Year, my friend.
Yeah, happy New Year to you too. I was almost said happy birthday. Happy New Year to you too.